All right, and welcome back to another Megatron draw stream. And today we'll be, as promised, we'll be working on the Lilo and Stitch, which is what I drew, or didn't draw it all out, but I inked up the original version. It's right here over on Maria's channel last week. So a lot of fun doing this. Now we're going to be doing the colored variation, like we always do. That's how I roll. And so yeah, we got the witch Lilo, and we got Stitch as a little vampire. So should be a lot of fun. I gotta touch up the eye here. It's looking a little wonky there, but that's okay. Tidy up the lines as we go. Um, so yeah, without further ado, I guess we'll just kind of go from character to character. I think probably the easiest way to kind of go about this. So I think we'll start with Lilo, and I think we'll start with her skin tone. Let's get that out of the way first. It's I don't remember which ones I used for her last time I drew her. So earth tones, yeah, a little bit of a yellow, probably for the base color. And a little grab R20 just for a little blush. Add a little bit of a vibrancy to her, or a bit of a rosiness to her. We'll start off with a YR000. Making sure I have enough ink. And let's go right ahead. Not going to worry too much about the hair. It's going to be blacked out mostly. So I'm using a 9x12 Bristol paper in case anyone wants to know. I just put a poll up a couple minutes ago, and kind of asking people what's your guys' favorite thing to do on Halloween? Is it the costumes? Is it the candy? Is it the carving of pumpkins, or is it watching like scary movies or something? What's your guys' like favorite thing to do on Halloween? Yeah, for me as a kid, I was kind of more into like the dressing up for Halloween, as well as the candy part. But more recently, I've started really getting into like pumpkin carving. No, not this year, last year because obviously I was busy with stuff. But you know, but I did a couple of pumpkins that a couple of years ago, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was a really fun experience. It's kind of like something I want to do more on the channel is for Halloween to do the because next year I think I'm gonna do another pumpkin because I didn't get around to it this year. Just wasn't really able to get to it in time because I was just doing a lot of work. But I think next year we'll definitely do another because I think we did a few carving streams a couple years ago, so I think we'll do it again at some point. So we did the Megatron, then we did the Green Lantern one. I think I did an Overwatch one. I think with like Widowmaker at one point, but didn't really turn out very well. My throat's dry. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it's kind of struggling with what to do for Halloween this year because it's kind of a last minute type thing. Say, just didn't have enough time to really plan this out the way I did last year's. Let's go all the way with her actually. The YR. Hey, Corey, how's it going, man? Gonna be lurking. That's all right, dude. We'll be going for a little bit, so feel free to lurk and come back and whenever you're available. Little digits, neck. All right, I think we'll move on to EO2. Some darker shades going. Mm. There we go. All right. Right now, what I'm doing is kind of using two, kind of working by the section because I'm trying to. Because what do you want to do with the Copics most of the time? Usually, you kind of want to use them as quickly as possible in order to blend them properly. or more smoothly, rather. It's something I don't really do a whole lot, but it's something I'm trying to get back into trying. So as you can see that I'm just sure if you can tell, but it's a lot more smoother now than it would be if I were to let it sit for a bit and then come back in with new colors. I can still get some good effects with it, but it usually is a lot more softer and a lot more natural looking when you kind of work in one section, like where you make sure you when you move a lot faster with different markers rather than just like doing one color for, like for example, I just did YR000 for the whole skin tone, but then I started bringing in EO2 and then EO00 to kind of blend it all. Just kind of helps make it more, like I said, more natural and more more of a smoother sort of transition. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Okay, add the rosiness to her now. Yeah, just bring back the E00, just kind of blend in the rosiness to the skin tone, make it more natural. Blush, not really a blush, but it's kind of it's a subtle blush. That's the best way I can describe it. Just trying to make her look a bit more youthful. But obviously, Lilo's not really a makeup type of girl, so can't be too crazy with it. I think the characters a lot of times when it comes to these drawings is like, would a character like this, use this much makeup, or would they dress like this, or would they, look, what would their, there's a lot of things that really go into the art and just other than just the actual like physical process. There's a lot of our thought process because like, oh, would this character look like this in this certain pose, or or how they react in this kind of costume or environment or what have you. Just try to darken the skin tone just a little bit. Bring back the EO2. And then I'm just going to bring back, you know, I'm going to use an EO1. Yeah. Okay. Do the same thing to the hands. Blend that out with some EO2. Bring back the sort of oranginess, but not too much. You don't want to make it look like a pumpkin here. But obviously, she has a very, very tan sort of skin tone, so gotta respect that. Without going overboard. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit of a yellow, almost. Just kind of add a warmth to her skin tone a bit. So bring back the Y000 here. Just kind of blend the yellow in. Got a little bit of warmth, kind of seeping into her skin tones. Might bring in a warm gray actually, just for the shadows. These are 3. Okay, now we're just gonna blend in the grays a bit, just kind of make it more natural here. This might be the last of the skin tones, actually, pretty soon. I might need a few extra layers. Getting close, though. Shadows. Almost done here. Just needs a bit more vibrance, I feel like. Maybe a little pink might work. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it for the skin tones. I'm pretty happy with that. So, well, since she's a very, very simple costume, should be pretty simple. It's just like gonna be like black and purples. So we'll do that next, and then we'll move on to Stitch. Or actually, we'll do the little details on our end. We'll do the pumpkin first. Actually, I already have some yellows pulled out, so we'll do that first, and then we'll work on the blacks and all that. Start with YR16, so whiter shade of orange. That would be our base color here, and we'll add others as we go. Let's grab this guy, make it an extra darker shade. I think today we're going to be working by character. I think we'll just kind of work on her, then we'll move on to Stitch. And then the background, which shouldn't be too hard, too difficult here, because it's going to be just trees and some foliage in the ground, and that's about it. Just going to be careful around her digits. And just add a little bit of yellow. Just add a little bit more, a little bit darker shade of orange, and then we'll kind of add some gray tones just to emphasize the shadows a bit more. Yellow again, just kind of blend those out. And then I'll grab this guy. Quickly deal with the little stem. Who's that? Cocky. She used a lot of this paint color for my dioramas, actually. Or the same name, it's still a little different than the markers color. Just add a little bit of sedan to it. I think we can move on from that. Let's get it up now. I might come back later and touch up the skin tones, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. I just want to see how the blacks kind of work on her before I do that. So look at the image for reference. I'm going to kind of follow that. So she has a lot of like blue, violet sort of highlights in her hair, as well as the costume. So we're going to go by that. So move my markers off to the side. Just gonna keep this. Grab black, some purple, and yeah, that should be it for now. I might fist. Okay. Just trying to map out where I want the highlights are going to go, as well as the shadow lines. I have a blue for the hair as well. Just kind of add that once we get to there. Just gonna go over shadows here. And go all the way. I've mapped everything out. I'm gonna be a retail person in this guy. And then we just got to finish up the hat. And then we'll kind of move on to the hair, or the highlights. brother. And grab the sleeve. Almost missed it. All right, now we got some purple. Start with the costume here. Probably tighten up these black lines later. Let's bring these highlights in first. Just gonna tidy up the there. And then just the hat, and we'll do the blue on the hair. That'll probably be it for Lilo. Oh, aside from like the facial details and stuff, but grab that in just a minute. think I need to throw that one out. Okay, just to the mouth, and then we'll move on to here. I'm just gonna do the little darker part, the little knob thing at the end of the tongue, right at the end of the mouth. All right. Oh. Some pinks. Tongue. We'll do some reds, fine, dark red for the back of the throat. Add a cool gray for shadows. And then need a sort of a lighter red. Do R14. All right. Just grab some copper for the eyes. Got a little bit of red. Just add a vibrance to our eyes a bit more. All right, I think we're done with the colors for Lilo. Just gonna come back in a minute. Just want to go take a really quick bathroom break, and I'll come back and we'll start Stitch. So, be right back. All right. Let's get rolling on Stitch. Pretty much ready to go on Lilo. I'm really satisfied. I might come back and touch up the skin tone, but we'll see. Just want to get Stitch rolling because I want to get all the main sort of colors going. Then I can kind of go back and touch things up as I see fit. So let's see. I just look at the reference photo of Stitch. I guess we'll kind of do the same. We'll start with the blacks. Or no, we'll start with the blues. So I'm just trying to see if there's any reds on him, and it doesn't seem like it. So I think I'll just kind of just trying to see which marks I can get rid of for lack of a better term. I'll probably keep you, or I might get rid of this one. Get rid of you. Just trying to clear up my desk so to speak. I think it'll be pink. So let's start on the blues. Oh, nice to you. You. Oh, you know what? I will need some pink actually for the ears. Just forgot. Saw a little pencil line there. Do the pink lighter after though. We'll start with the main part of stitch. We'll do the cloak after. Oh, you know what? I'll just black that out. Okay, so start the main blue on stitch. This guy. I don't use these blues as much. So we're using a B66. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate you still sticking by. Very quiet day today, which I probably should have accounted for. Everyone's probably at work right now, so it's probably when many people are showing up. That's okay. It's okay with me. They can always watch the replay. There's a go all the way. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. Slow and steady. Okay. We're bringing a B97 just for the shadows. This is the one holiday I do my best to not work on the day before, and so I try to make sure I'm off. Do work or go out, it go very bad off. Yeah. I've had to work past couple years I've been working on Halloween, so it's one of the rare times actually for me to have the day off. So yeah, I'm enjoying it while I can. But yeah, I decided to go live a little bit earlier today because I'm just sure what my brothers got planned, the nieces. So I'm just gonna keep my evening open in case they decide to drop by. Bring the B24. They're right here in next 2 to 4 hours ago, so. Oh. Yeah, we sometimes get snow actually on Halloween, so kind of ruins the day for us here. Because for us, we can't actually dress up in our costumes when it's snowing. We have to wear big ass winter jackets sometimes. Not this year actually. We actually don't have a whole lot of snow so far, but yeah, sometimes we get a lot of snow on the Halloween. So it kind of sucks. To walk around. So if you want to dress as Batman, you're gonna have to, be a chubby Batman. All them jackets and stuff. Got a little bit of a purple to it. If I can find one that's just gonna add a bit of a vibe to them. Apparently, I'm obsessed with the color purple and pink for some reason lately. It all kind of started with the ravens I did last year. So there's so many ravens, and with those drawings, you get to use a lot of purples and pinks and stuff like that. I just kind of like to use it for kind of enhance other colors and stuff. Like it's really useful for that. Just kind of adds a nice like vibrance to the shades we're kind of seeing right now. We're kind of a little bit more vibrance to the blue on Stitch here. So yeah, pretty underrated colors actually for artists, at least to me, because I used to didn't really use these colors as much until now. Yeah, pinks and purples are really good for like adding different like depths to the colors. So we don't think to use it as much. So obviously they're all because most of the time they're like girly sort of colors, and so you wouldn't really associate using that with like a blue character like Stitch here. But just like no, actually kind of really pops out. Especially I kind of learned this with Stitch specifically last year when I did not last year, but kind of last year. Last year when I did the Stitch in the snow for December. I used a lot of pinks and purples for that because of the vibe I was going for that, and actually added a lot of different like depth to the drawing at the end of the day. Yeah, I started using a lot of like yellows and like pinks, kind of like enhance certain things in the because yellow can be used a lot to like make things look warmer. If you're doing like a kind of like how I did the Teen Titans piece last year. The Halloween one, I use a lot of yellow for that on the skin tones of a lot of characters because it kind of helped. It kind of just helped emphasize the warmth of the scene because obviously it was a scene where they were kind of stepping into Wayne Manor, and so obviously I imagine Wayne Manor to have like a more warm sort of a lighting. So it just kind of adds to the effect. Now I'm just going to do the eye parts now. Starting with a BG10. Kind of leaving the eye for now because this part's supposed to be all black. You just have like one like highlight poking out. But I'm gonna do that last because I want to get all the color in first before I do that because I could accidentally smudge the ink, and we don't want to do that here. So it looks like I want to give Stitch a black eye. And BG15. And no, a little too dark. Too dark. A little lighter. And then we'll add R20. Blend that up. Went to me all the time. Maybe one day I'll stick in my head. Yeah. Yeah. Well, just little things you kind of just like pick up along the way, you know, as you're learning. Okay. I'll leave the light blues. Now move on to the darker blue, or purple rather. And we use a bit more of a purple for stuff like the nose and the claws. And then we got to use a yellow for the teeth, and then some pink for the ears. And then we'll do the black on the cape and all that stuff there. So now to like think it's like a magenta. It's not really a red. It's more of a magenta for the red parts of the cape here. So we'll be conscious of that. The reason I'm using purple here is kind of make it a little bit different than the rest of the blue. Really good, really easy way to kind of make a little bit of a difference there. Start with all purple here. I'll come back in with some blue in just a minute. A little bit of black. And now I'll pull in some blue. That'd be 26. Damn, man. You see, if I had to break, I'd break. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's cool. Good to see you. Nope, this pen sucks. I'm gonna go back and curate my markers and purge the ones that are useless to me right now. Some are dying, or rather the duplicates markers I have. I need to curate and toss out the ones that are dying on me because that way I can kind of free up space for more different colors in the future. But yeah, so next year actually we'll probably be making a return to the diorama streams. I was kind of talking about this a little while ago, but because I now have a new setup behind me, or not behind me, come to my left with the display, I'll be coming back to diorama streams pretty soon. Just gotta get through these next 2 months here. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas in mind for them. Just kind of been a matter of figuring out which characters are going to go where. So I have kind of a roadmap in my mind for the way the collection is going to kind of go. So trying to adhere to that as much as I can. And kind of just prepare for like bumps in the road for that. It's kind of the nature of collecting in general. Right. But yeah, the one I was kind of had a lot of really cool ideas for was the Unicron one, because I'm thinking about doing, because there's a piece of artwork, I'm not too sure who did it, I can't remember. But it was this artwork where you had like the Unicron using Cybertron as like a throne. He's kind of sitting on Cybertron while his hands are kind of resting on the 2 moons of Cybertron. I was just like, you know what, that'd make a really cool diorama. Now, it might be a bit redundant because I already have a throne diorama with the Megatron one. But I think that, but yeah, I really like that idea. Like, it just sounds like it's a cool idea. For Unicron, rather than just doing, obviously I could just do like a basic like space cosmic sort of background for him. But I think which I probably will. Well, that'll be the background. But you know, I think that the idea of him like kind of having a big throne like that would be kind of cool. So cool. For sure. Yeah, I think that would be a really, really cool diorama. So, but you know, I think what I'll do is I'll actually make that the actual throne itself like removable. That way, in case maybe the throne, if it didn't like turn out the way I wanted to initially, I can always just remove it and just kind of keep it. You know, a simple sort of a diorama back for it, but like that's the idea I'm kind of leaning more towards though right now. So yeah, got a lot of cool plans in mind. I have a few because I have cause now I have kind of like different sort of size shells I'm working with now with the skinny billies that I'm using. So for those ones, I have to be very, very smart about when it comes to the layout and all that. But I have ideas for the first one, which will probably be made, which will be the IDW shell, which will have my drift and my wind blade, and maybe swerve. I don't know if I ever get swerve because I know that swerve kind of play a huge role in the IDW books. So so I kind of want to pay homage to that by having him with like the IDW characters and stuff like that, in a meaningful way. And it's going to be the cherry blossom one where it's going to be kind of like you can have like this kind of it's going to be kind of like a garden almost, like with some cherry blossom trees kind of around them, and kind of leading up to some steps and all that with like the Japanese sort of mountains in the background. Kind of going to be a very very you know, pretty sort of background. So just because it'll be something different, a little different than what we normally do here with dioramas, but I think that would be kind of a really fun one to do. But yeah, I'm also thinking about doing the Combaticons pretty soon because the Magic Square ones are kind of being pumped out really quickly. Like they've already got their Swindle on the way. Should be coming next month or this month rather, because tomorrow's the November 1st. So, but yeah, so their Combaticons are coming around pretty quickly. So I might do that one first because I need to know that Onslaught will fit on the shelf I intend to have the Combaticons on, because Onslaught has a whole like cannon on his back, so I need to make sure that the space I have laid out for him will kind of, for the team in general, will kind of work out. So yeah, a lot of logistic issues like that kind of come up when you're designing the dioramas and stuff like that. But yeah, it should be it for the ears here. They're kind of more of a purplish pink, the insides anyways. And I still have my purples out. I might as well just do the magenta in the cape here. So okay. So I'll start with a very vibrant sort of pink, I think, for that part, just to kind of help make the rest of the colors kind of more vibrant as well for the cape here. And after this, we'll do the teeth real quick. Just gonna be a little yellow, and then we'll move on to the blacks and the highlights of the cape and stuff. Well, I still mess up a stick figure. All you need is a ruler. A few circle templates, you should be fine. All right, let's just see. Okay, well, I'll probably just black this whole part out here. Just have a mess right there. Not sure what those lines are doing. But yeah. All right. So we'll grab some magentas. Just kind of go all dark on this edge here. I'm going to use a R25, which is kind of like a reddish pink. Just go over all of our hard work there. So it blends in nicely. See my why are you still dying on me? Jesus. I refilled them. I don't know what's going on with this marker. I just hit a new one. Fucking asshole. Yeah, I'll use these guys instead. Oh, get the fuck out of here. In my way. All right, that's gonna be it for the. Might add a little bit of a red. Use a crimson. All right, I'll bring back my RV17. Just kind of bring back the magenta color just a bit. Put an end to this portion of the thing here. All right, should be good enough. My desk is filling up with markers. Let's see. I don't think I'll need anything more from. It might. But I'll just put them off to the side. I won't need my blues anymore, actually. So probably put them away. But I need to touch up a stitch. I can just do it later. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on the cape, and then we'll move on to the background and all that stuff needs to get done. A set. Start with the black. I'll move on to, and we'll kind of use our purple for highlights, just like we did with Lilo here. Let's put a big X there. Use my pit for that. This one's kind of old. Use a newer one. There we go. No use to really use the black Copic right here, just because if you're using black Copic, it's because you're using it to blend other colors or to add some shadows or what have you. But right here, we want a very, very focused sort of black here, you know. And this kind of help make the highlights here. I probably should have done this with Lilo, but whatever. But generally speaking, you want to kind of like save your Copic blacks for blending more so than filling in big black spaces like this. So I'm just giving that a minute real quick. I'm just going to work on the eyes. So I like to wait for the ink to dry just a bit. This one's not right. Use the. And we'll just fill in his eye. More waiting for that to dry. And we'll do the highlights, just be a quick sort of purple on it, and then we'll go from there. There we go. Now he's starting to look more like Stitch. It's all in the eyes. Okay, now I'll just go in, add my highlights, move on to bigger and better things. Oh, let me do the teeth. I just forgot. Teeth and then bigger things. Time is at 1:15, so ooh, I should probably do some shadow work there. Do it in a minute. Hey, this is get back from birthday lunch. Yeah, no problem. And if you're watching, happy birthday. No, I said it earlier. I missed the stream, but I would say that stuff in person because I'm old school like that. Looks good. It's gonna look really good when it's done. Yeah, thanks, dude. Hope so. Last week I kind of fucked up on my red X drawing because I hadn't tested out the new Bombay ink, at least not with a brush, on a blending card, and so it kind of warped the paper when I was using it last week. Now it still turned out pretty well. It just the paper itself just got screwed up. So but I learned a very valuable lesson not to use a brush on a blending card with the ink. So there we go. There's our little stitch. We'll get his teeth in there. His yellow teeth because he doesn't like the brush, apparently. Okay. That's done. And we got Lilo done. Now, time to the background. And I'm looking at my reference, kind of just using the picture from the movie. So there's a lot of blue and a lot of purples in the background. So what I think I'll do is I'll start off with a brown for the trees, and I'll kind of go over that with some blue. I'll probably use a lot of like blue greens and stuff like for like the trees or like the foliage and stuff like that, and then we'll go from there with the ground and all that. So then we'll start with this guy. Kind of map out our trees first and foremost. I think it's kind of the most important part here. Now, obviously, with these little, for those who don't know what these little X's here are for, is they're kind of meant to identify where areas need to be fully blacked out. And a lot of comic artists actually use this sort of technique where they just kind of like put a little X, especially if they're like a penciler, and they're only just a penciler, not like a full-on pencil and inker. But yeah, that's what these little X's are for. Just kind of meant to, it's just kind of a mental note for me to be like, this needs to be all blacked out here. That's kind of what that is. For people who are curious, like, what the hell is that X there for? I know. I'm leaving some little white areas because I want to have some little bit more depth when I do the blues on the trees here. I think what I'll do is I'll add another different shade of brown, and then I'll come in with some blue, kind of go on top of it all. And that might actually add a bit more bit more detail, vibrance, what have you. Hard to kind of explain. But you know what? All right. Almost done here. At least with this color. It's kind of dying on me. Just kind of do little squiggles. Doesn't need to be perfect here because it's just for the background, so don't need to spend too much time on this stuff here. So the main focus is Lilo, and especially you don't want to draw too much attention to the background for a piece like this. So simple shapes, simple colors, just need to get the job done, which is kind of a but the job of the background should usually be, unless it's like it depends on what you're doing for the background, but usually for a piece like this, where it's more of a character-focused piece, like where you want to be a bit more intimate with the characters on you're looking at, not intimate that way, obviously, but there's a kind of an intimate sort of a feeling that you want to have with the characters that you're drawing, And so if you have a bunch of junk in the background, it can kind of take away from that. I'm going to use a copper now. No, I think it's a sedan. Find it. Put you. I put you. Oops, there you are. Still going to leave some pockets of white because I will be going over this with some blue. I just feel like it's more realistic when you have the browns and then go with the lighting effects and all that. It'll be more realistic in a way. Her birthday was happy birthday. Yeah, it's Aang's birthday. Aang's. Okay, and that's a blue. And I think we'll start. Here's a B05. Here's a little bit darker shade to this. Right now we're just kind of because at nighttime usually, at least for the drawing I'm using, like the reference photo I'm using, it has a lot of like blues in the background, like trees and stuff. So that's what I'm doing here. Trying to follow that. Just so I can kind of stay in the spirit of the original movie. Time is it? 1 o'clock. 1:30 almost. So making pretty decent time. I think we'll go another hour maybe. It's probably all I'll need. If not, we can kind of stretch it a little bit if we're on the brink of finishing up here, so to speak. What I'll do is let's do the trees, then we'll move on to the ground and the tree and the foliage here, and then we'll kind of do the blast of the black areas at the very end. Just kind of save time. All right. I'll use the same color for the foliage here. Just gonna keep the consistency. And so the ground's been more of a purplish blue, like kind of hints of different shades of purple and blue. So do that. So I'm not going to go for like a full-on like sandy ground, because it's supposed to be a nighttime scene. So okay. Now a little bit of black. Go BG72. A little bit of purple to the trees now. think I'm gonna do this guy. No, a little too bad. Not dark enough. Let's do before 18. Yeah. I should go all over it with the blue. That might be better. All right. I think we're almost done here with the trees. Move on to the foliage. I've been a little bit, probably seems like using a lot of blue greens for that one. I kind of recommend actually using blue greens if you're using Copics. If you're doing like nighttime stuff, or like, because that kind of adds a bit more of a darker edge to it, more bluish sort of edge. Which is what you'd kind of see more so is like kind of a bluish purple, more so than like a bright, vibrant green. Bring just a little bit of a vibrant green, but I'll kind of squash that real quick. Just kind of fill in all the white areas here. Might bring in black pretty soon, actually. That. Okay. Oh, yeah. I use this guy instead for the shadows. Just have a purple. Okay, I will add the pinks and the purples and all that to the sandy gray sort of deal here. This will all make sense in the end, hopefully. Getting close to the finish line. So going with the yellow actually real quick. Just kind of going over all of it with the yellow here. Not too worried about the rocks. We'll go over them some gray anyways. Get all the white areas here. Build in. Yeah. So crack open an iced tea. All right. My desk is getting full markers. You and you. Okay. Now let's do some shadow work real quick. I think that'll kind of help build this out real quick. Or I think we'll use 25. Just grab the blues here. Trying to tidy up the blacks here. Okay. Oh, one grays here. And still needs a refill. All right. That's it for a minute. Okay, I think I'll start adding some blues. Yeah. Some blue greens here. Just a matter of building up different colors, different shades here. Poor rocks are getting annihilated by all these colors. That's okay. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be going over them with some grays. So it all looks up. So use a blender to go over all of it. I think that'll be up to the ground. Then we just got to do the rocks, do the black areas and the shadows and trees, and we'll be done. Also the little touch-ups, but I'll probably do the last, like, kind of like bits of touch-ups at the end, a little bit later on. Don't want to go for too long. You know, so it's been pretty well. Almost 3 hours. So for a piece like this usually takes a lot longer. So pretty good time. They usually go longer because there's multiple characters on the page. The camera. Okay, and I'm going to go over the little rocks here now. Add a little bit of purple to the rocks, just kind of make them blend in the rest of the background here. And now we can go in and do the shadows here. Start with the pit, just got the big areas first. Oh, I didn't fill this in properly. Okay, got our trees in. Not treason, just trees. Trees. Go in and touch up the hat and all that. The black's kind of faded here, so I'm just going to touch that up. Well, show off. That's great. Thanks, dude. I'm not trying to show off, you know. Just gonna go back over some of these highlights. Make them a bit more prominent. Kind of being lost right now. All right. I think we're ready to end this one with some touch-ups. So, why is my camera not focusing properly? It went up. I just got the school text. Oh, shit. How it is now. So I start putting my markers away, and then we can get to the touch-ups. So I'll probably just do some very light ones right now. Got a few things I need to do around the house or off or just a few errands need to run. I want to tidy up the house a bit, just in case my mom decides to show up today. Don't want them walking into a death trap. It's fine. 18, 26, 17, 15. Yeah, the thing is, I have all my markers in my little unit here. They're all kind of keep you up. They're all numbered or put in numbered order based on the. They put it based on the app in which you kind of see the. Because Copics have there's actually an app for the Copic markers, and so you kind of keep track of which markers you have and which ones you don't have. That way, it makes it easier for you to go shopping if you ever need to buy new markers. Yeah, I don't have this one. This one I have. Yeah. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to keep track of everything. R21. Fuck you go. Oh. 23. Ooh, I got fucked up. Oh, you're the wrong one, asshole. 23. 21. Your phone name. Two. Almost there, folks. Just get the ones on the table. Just keep my desk clean because I'm going to be bringing in some markers here, or some gel pens and stuff. Just to spice her up. PG 78. 79. 72. And BGI. If we can find you. Okay. Now we can move on. Oh, got except for eye. Get a pupil. Let's grab whatever I'll need. Just trying to see. Okay. Oh, you know, I'll add some greens to the foliage. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so the eyes on Lilo. Okay, and then we can move on to some pupils. tidy up Stitch's eyes because he got a little bit of blue on them. Oh, nope. Wrong color. Wrong color. Need you later. Just gotta thicken up these lines here. Just gotta add the little eyebrows on a Stitch there. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we're almost done. We just need to do the little touch-ups here and there. Just want to touch up the line work here. I usually like to keep the line work, the ink lines, relatively not dull, but kind of just like very, very light when I do the colors here. Because that makes, because that way I can just come back. That way I'm not like just like constantly adding to the inks here. I can just like have it. The last sort of the inks at the very end here would be the final ones that I need. Sometimes the inks kind of get lost if you put too much color on them. I'm using the Faber-Castell FM brush tip pen, and it's really nice because it actually is kind of like a kind of a mix between. It's one of those pens that's kind of like a mix between a fine tip and a brush tip. You know, it's really nice getting like we're getting nice sharp lines. I'll use a different pen for the eye parts. Let me make this a little bit lighter. We'll move on to Lilo. Get her inked up. And then I'll do a few things to kind of make the hat and all that. She's kind of getting a little bit lost here a little bit because of the blue in the background. So we'll kind of do a few things to kind of lighten that up. Okay, let's get the hair sorted. And I'll use a different pen for the eyes. Now let's grab the hat and the rest of the hair here, and then we'll pull out my Pashkas. Times it. Ooh, 220. Holy shit. Yeah. I think we'll go till, I think 240 will be my stopping point. So we're almost done. Okay. Now just do some highlights. Just trying to separate the hair from the background as well as from like the cloak here. And stitch seems fine, so don't worry about that. And yeah, touch up the line here. It's a little too thick there. Oh, yeah, the train's going up. Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I tried to go for because it's supposed to be a nighttime scene, so you wouldn't really see the brown bark on the tree. You just see the kind of a, because it, or at least for the image I'm using for reference, you only really see so much. There's one last little detail I want to add. I kind of talked this with Maria when I did the inks for this. I want to kind of add like the different experiments, like from the Stitch cartoon, like kind of their eyes kind of poking out. Like that's kind of the idea I'm trying to go for here. Or that's what I was trying to go for last time. Now they all kind of end up having the same sort of eyes, so it can really make a difference between some of the different experiences because they all kind of have the same sort of eye sort of shape. For the most part, just different sizes a bit. What else we'll do here? Just add a little bit extra detail, it's fitting for the world. It was more like experiments that you kind of found out a little bit more later on in the cartoon series that there was more little stitches around. They had different powers and stuff like that. So it made it more interesting. Some had like fire powers, some had ice powers, some had, you know, all sorts of powers, kind of made them a lot of fun. There we go. I remember a little bit about that. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, it was a long time ago because they had a bunch of different like shows and stuff like that for Lilo and Stitch back in the day. It wasn't just like the few movies we had. We actually had a whole series. I think there was like an anime too, but I don't know if it was any good or not. I don't remember. I think I watched it. Just gonna use some extra highlights on the trees. It's at 2:35, so we'll probably wrap it up pretty quickly. We're going for a long time now, so could use a break. Might just add a little bit of a highlight around Stitch's head in just a minute. Just get these trees done first. All right, I think we're about ready to wrap this one up. Oh, I forgot to do Stitch's little eyebrows. Hold on. Hold on, Stitch. Almost forgot he has a little bit of a eyebrow there. There we go. Just gonna black those out. And I might come back and touch up the shadows a bit more later, but I don't think I can do that in time. So I think I'll just kind of call it a wrap real quick. But yeah, I think it's pretty much done now. I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, got a pen to sign my name, and I call it a wrap. Okay, I'll make this one. Different pen. There we go. Signed it and it's ready to go. I just need to touch up a few things here and there, but I'll do that off air. So yeah, that's going to be it for me and Lilo and Stitch. So that was a pretty fun one to do. You know, it's pretty simple. So, but yeah, a lot of fun with this one. So before we call it off, oh, only over 3 hours, you slacker. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, folks, thank you so much to Corey, Damon, and Miss Damon for dropping by. Not too sure what I'll be doing for this week. No, I can't be again actually because I'll be working. I have a few things to do this week, so no stream this weekend. But I think this Saturday after I might be able to stream. So I haven't really figured out what I'll be doing for that stream yet, but we'll see. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me, Lilo and Stitch here. So yeah, let's see. Grab just make sure anyone didn't drop by. I didn't notice. Nope, it's the 3 of you. Okay. So thank you to everyone else who was lurking in chat. Yeah, it's gonna be it for me. Let's see, I'm just gonna find a clip to end this off. And I'll see y'all later. And I need to refresh my clip. I need to get some more clips. You know, I got some really shitty ones, but I'll do this one. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a really wonderful, happy Halloween. So, yeah, I'll catch you all later.
You will not escape the mighty shockwave.
Hey, mighty shockwave, take this!
Shit! You bitches! Get back here!
Bye-bye! Loser! You suck!
Those bitches!
Fellow Decepticons, take heed. Your leader, Megatron, still lives. Though we remain dispersed throughout the far reaches of the galaxy, exiled from our true home, we are all still Decepticons, united by a common purpose. The time has come for us to put aside our differences and act as one under my undisputed leadership. Only then can we cast off the shackles of Autobot oppression. Working together, we can raise up our glorious empire once more and crush all who stand in our way.